Hello everyone, my name is Amanda and welcome back to another video of the Planty Mandy. Alright y'all, we are at part 3, which is the last part of my propagation series. So we went through water and moss propagation and also air layering, and today we're gonna talk about seed propagation, so meaning growing plants from seed. So the reason I saved this part for the last is because I would say seed propagation is probably the least common for houseplant hobbyists to multiply their plants for multiple reasons. So number one, sometimes it can be really hard to find genuine seed in the market. I heard a lot of stories of people buy seeds from overseas at a pretty cheap price. However, when they actually get the seed, it's never what they actually pay for. It just grows some like random stuff. So yeah, it's not really accessible, for a houseplant hobbyist to acquire genuine like seed. And second, seed germination does require a different different type of techniques and also a little bit more tools. So it's also make it a little bit less common than water, moss, or propagation, or even air layering. So yeah, but I think this is definitely a great method to multiply your plants. That's why I decided I'm gonna make another video to go over it. But don't get me wrong, right? Although there is like some limitations or some challenges when it comes to seed propagation, there's also some really great advantages. So first of all, you can grow a lot of plants like in a smaller area, right? So you can just basically sow like a whole tub of seed, and then there's all the side little plants pop up. So it's a little bit more efficient if you don't have a lot of space. And also the other advantages is more on the scientific aspect, because when we take cuttings from plants and do water propagation, moss propagation, or even the air layering, it's essentially we are just making a clone, an exact same clone from the mother plants, meaning that the baby plant's gonna have the exact the same genetics than the mother plants. However, if you grow a plant from seed, the baby plant's each of the baby plant gonna have a different genetics profile than its the parents. The benefits for that is it's basically diversify the gene pool of the plants and may result in a more resilient species. So there is actually a lot of benefits for seed propagation too. And last but not least, it's really fun to grow plants from seed, just from my experience. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, just like the past couple videos, before we go into the actual propagation itself, let's go over what tools we need, because we need the tools to be able to successfully do the propagation. So first of all, if you watch my previous video, you know that I really like this propagation kit, which I'm going to use. But again, if you don't have this or you don't want to spend money on this, you can also use a to-go Tupperware, but make sure that you poke holes in it because you do want the airflow for the plants. And you will need a good spray bottle. Psst, psst. It's so funny because one of the subscribers comments on my first video that he or she like me to say make the sound effects when I do like the spray bottle, like psst, psst. So yeah, it's so funny. I do that a lot. And then obviously you will need your watering bottle, and more importantly you'll need a seed starter mix. So you can mix your own seed starter. So basically this is just like a combination of like I think perlites and also peats, right? So it's a little bit more airy, and then it's also retain moisture better because the seed do need a certain type of moisture and humidity in order to grow roots. So this, and last but not least, it's optional. Like I would say quote unquote optional, but I highly would recommend it is a heat mat. Because in order for the seed to germinate, like meaning that the seed will like break open and start growing, you do need heat, right? Not like heat, but like higher temperature, the warm temperature that would encourage the seed to break open and actually start to grow. So I highly recommend it, although it's not mandatory. By that I mean that if you don't have a heat mat, it's not impossible for your seed to germinate, but you know, it's gonna be harder. And last but not least, you will need your seed. So I know you can't see anything right now, but I will show you because I'm super excited that I got some genuine Hoya seed from one of our really reputable collectors and growers on Facebook. So yep, and that's all the tools you need. Let's get started. So let's show you the seeds. I have a cover up because if you guys have seen Hoya seeds before, they are woody, they are attached to all this fluff that they will fly away like so easy. So I'm gonna be really careful opening this. Ooh. I don't want to generate any airflow, so I'm gonna talk really light. So ta-da! So these are the seed, and these are the fluff. And actually the seed, let me see if I can, don't flow. See, I have to be really careful so I'm gonna pick one up or two, and they stick to anything. They will stick to like literally your finger, your clothes, your like anything. So there. So I hope you can see this tiny, you see the black thing? So that is one Hoya seed. And I think this particular species is the Hoya verticillata, heart shape. Yeah, so I think that's a species of the Hoyas. So yep, so this is a Hoya seed. So Hoya is in the milkweed family. So I think it's, the scientific name is Aponaceae. I hope I say it right. But if not, I will always put the description at the bottom of the screen. Look at this. Oh my God, I'm so scared. So the reason, and I want to show you, I'm going to be really careful. So, oh my God, I'm so scared. All this is going to fly away. But here, I'll be really careful. So I want to show you the seed pod. Like obviously it's already broke open. But yeah, let's go. So this is the break open seed pod. So before it's break open, obviously it's like this. It's like a stick thing, look like vanilla. But like yeah, it's look like this, right? So it's, you know, once the plant is pollinated, you know, it will go to seed pod, and the seed pod will break open when it is mature, and then all these the seed with the fluff would fly out, and that's how they are being transmitted or transported in the nature by wind. So that's why it's so fluffy. But yeah, so this is the Hoya seed, and yeah, and that's why if you guys decide to get like any Hoya seed or basically anything in the milkweed family, I would say like Dischidia or Salpagia, like the more common houseplant, they come in this form. So you have to be really careful. I know a lot of the grower would use like a net or like a nylon like to wrap up the seed pod because you don't know when it's gonna ripe. When it's ripe, all the seeds gonna fly away. So yes, they always use a nylon. So perfect. So yep, so that's a seed. Great. So now that you have seen the seed and all the tools, we're gonna get started with the actual propagation process. By the way, I know this is in the way, but you know, this is a peony a peony bouquet that I actually got for my graduation gifts because I finally finished grad school, and yeah, it's really beautiful. It's from Farm Girl Flowers, I think. I'm sure you guys heard of it, but yeah, it's really beautiful. It's very spring and peony. I'm not like a big fans for cut flowers just because, you know, it's feel like you know, they eventually gonna die. But I just love peony so much, and it smells really good and looks really pretty. So I think I'm just gonna put it here so you guys can see it as well. Perfect. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna film with this weird angle again because that way you guys can see better. So the first thing we want to do is we want to like use a container, any kind of container, and we're gonna get some of this like starting mix. You don't need like a huge amount of it, but just remember that you'll need like a layer, like a reasonable like layers of thickness. I would say this about like 1/2 inch to 1 inch of the soil mix at the bottom, and then you'll put some seed on, and then you'll put like a really thin layer at the top just to like kind of cover the seed. So now I have some mix here. So the first thing I would want to do is I want to wet this up a little bit. So this is a peat-based mix. So I'm just gonna use my hand because I use my hand for everything. That's why I can't have a nice nail. But yeah, I'm just gonna mix it. So the key for a successful seed germination is, for the mix, is you want to make sure that it's moist, but it's not like soggy wet. So I'm gonna moisten it a little bit more. Ta-da! It's like, this is like brownie mix. It's so interesting. But yeah, anyway, so yep. So now you can see that like it's more, like the color changes like a lot darker because obviously it's absorbed some water. And one of the really good signs you know that it's fully saturated is you will see the leftover water like right here. So mean that, okay, the mix cannot take any more water. So meaning that the mix is like wet enough, right? Or like moist enough. So once you're done with that, I am gonna move this, the actual container I'm gonna use. So I separate it because I don't want to put all this excess water into the actual like seed starting box. So I would even just make sure that it's not like too wet. I would like squeeze some water out here, and then I would, it's kind of gross. It's like putting your hand in mud. Ugh. So yep, I would carefully just squeeze this out. Yeah. And all that stuff. Here, there we go. Yeah, planting is a messy business, guys. It's you know, it's all like it's all clean. It's sometimes it's, you know, kind of soil everywhere, water everywhere. I try to be like as neat as possible, but you know, it's so gross. It can be challenging sometimes. So, yeah, perfect. So now you can see, my hand is so dirty. But anyway, so now you can see I have evenly moist starting mix in the box. So this is ready for me to put the seed on there. Okay, perfect. Hi. I just went over to wash my hand because it's just too messy. So now is the crucial part. The crucial part is to put the seed. Hi. Put the seed on this mix. So I'm gonna put this. I don't need this anymore. It's just water. So the crucial part is to like put the seed on here. So as I mentioned, because this side are really light, so you just speaking of, you just got to be careful. So I read up on some information about like Hoyas, and it seems like they do grow faster or so fast, germinate faster when they are grown in batch. So yeah, for that purpose, I just talk so loud, and then I almost like blow away all the seed. So for that purpose, we are gonna you know, put all the seed in the same box. I think there's maybe like 40 in here. I am not sure, something like that. But I'm gonna try to do that. And if otherwise, I can always start another box. But before I actually put the seed in there, I'm gonna spray the soil mix one more time on the surface just so it gets more sticky. So that way the fluff won't fly away, the seed won't fly away. So I forgot to mention when I go over tubes, I would highly recommend to get like a thong like this. I would actually prefer a final one, but that's all I have, so I'm just gonna use it. So it'll be easier because this thing will stick to your finger. So I'm just gonna, see, this is just fluff. Okay, so I'm just gonna go carefully find the seed, right? And then if I can separate it, I'll separate it, but if I can, it's no big deal. You can like put the fluff in there as well. I don't think they care. I don't think the seed care. Like it will germinate regardless. But I just want to make sure that I got the seed in here. That's the important part. It's actually, I would say it's actually easy if you keep the fluff, because that way you can actually see the seed distribution. So you don't want to, for example, like you don't want to put a lot of seed in like a, you know, at the same area. You may want to like, you know, just spread them out a little bit, so that way they have enough room. And then in the future, if you decide to like, see, like that's what I'm talking about, like they won't go down. So I'm gonna spray it a little bit more. There you go. Perfect. So, yep, spray down a little bit more so they stick to the soil. I think I can put a couple more on here. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, there's a lot of fluff here. Perfect. Yeah, I probably have. This is gonna be the story of the video. I'm just gonna keep. It's in my mouth. It's just a fluff though. So yeah, I think this is good. So I probably have to start another box because it seems like, yeah, it's pretty full. I didn't expect to get that many in a seed pot. So perfect. I'm just gonna get a couple more. Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, I think this is good. So okay, I think this is good for now. It's okay. I can start another box later. But this is, be really light and careful. And then I'm gonna spray it a little bit more so it won't come out, it won't come off. So yay. Okay, so ta-da! So as you can see, like because of the fluff, so you can kind of see where the seeds are being planted, like right here. So yeah, just make sure they have like, you know, they have some space. Yeah, so like I read up, it said they actually germinate faster when there's a larger batch. So I'm just gonna try that out and see what happens. So once you finish this process, what you want to do is, so this is also a critical part. So you want to put like a really thin layer of the seed mix. Oh my god, the fluff is all over me. But yeah, you want to put like a really thin layer of oh, is it a seed? Yes, it is. A really thin layer of the mix on top. So that way it's just lightly cover. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna have some mix here. I'm just gonna thinly cover. I don't know why I might make that voice, but seems appropriate. So I'm just gonna thinly cover. Yep. And I'm gonna even it out a little bit. Maybe just a tiny bit more, because there's some right here. That's why I think it's a good idea. So I don't know if, I know some people like to remove the fluff entirely, but I feel like this way I can actually see if I'm covering it, because the seed is brown. So if I don't have the fluff, then I won't know if I actually covering all the seed. But anyway, so this is what I did. I basically just put a really thin layer of the soil mix, the seed mix, cover up all the seed. So I'm gonna spray it one more time carefully. So you don't want to like have like a super strong spray because it's going to blow away the mix, because you don't want to blow away the mix because you just cover it up, right? So it will just undo all your work. So really spray really gently. So this is all about being gentle, okay? So, yep. So I'm just gonna spray it gently. Make sure everything is still covered up. Ta-da! So, there we go. So this is the finished products. And the last step is to cover it up. Bam. So that's why I like this thing so much, because I don't have to worry about poking holes and stuff like that. Because as you can see, there is the vents up here, so I can just like keep it open. So that way there's some airflow, but at the same time, it will maintain the humidity for the seed to actually germinate. So two most important factors for seed germination is the temperature, like I mentioned, a warmer temperature, because the seed does require a higher temperature to crack open. The heat, like it will actually crack the seed open, so the seed can actually start growing. And the second thing is humidity, because humidity promotes root growth. So if you provided enough heat and humidity, the seed will germinate no problem. So how do we provide heat is, like I mentioned earlier, a heat mat. So when I'm done with all this process, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in this heat mat. I think I showed you guys last couple videos, like this is the heat mat that I use for all my propagation, even with you know, water and moss propagation, because like I said, heat just promotes root growth. So you want that root growth, right? And I am gonna plug this in and I'm just gonna put it up. And for light wise, so light is not as important. How do I say it? Light is not as important as heat and moisture or humidity when it comes to seed germination, because when you think about it, like the seed is still underground, right? So when in nature the seed is underground, there's no light, right? And also before the seed actually grow its first leaves, there's no chlorophyll, so there's no need for lights for the seed to, the plant to produce fruit. So that means that, you know, you don't really need a lot of light. But, you know, I would probably just put it in like a, you know, my regular or medium light spot. So that way when the seed actually germinate, like, or start to grow leaves, it will get some lights, but not like, you know, you don't need a lot of lights in order for the seed to germinate. So that's that. All right, so you may ask, the next question is, how long does it take? So based on my experience from the milkweed family, the Aponaceae family, like Propagate again, Hoyas, or Orchid, it's probably gonna take like a week to 2 weeks for the seed to actually germinate and to start growing. So I want to show you this thing. So this is not Hoyas, but this is Propagate woodii, aka string of heart. So as you can see, these are the seed that I germinated about 3 weeks ago now. I would say 3 weeks ago. So I got this Propagate woodii, and then there's a seed pod on it. So I basically just do what I did, just what I told you. I put like a little nylon bag on there, and then it's when the seed pod wipe, it's actually capture all the seed, and it's the same thing. It's like a lot of fluff, but the seed pod is much smaller. So you see the Hoya one is like a little bit longer, and the Propagate wood that I have, it's like a little bit shorter. So it's like fewer seed in that. So yeah, so I harvest that, and then I just basically do exactly what I show you, and ta-da! So it's a really small seed pod. So I only got like, what, 2, 4, 6, 8 seeds, or at least like maybe I lost some of them, I don't know. 8 seeds, and then 7 of them, as you can see, the middle one, it's like didn't sprout, but then like the other one actually sprout. So this is the exact, for this one I use the exact process that I just showed you. And then now now the seed has sprouted, almost start growing. So you may want to give it a little bit more like medium light. You don't want to give it like bright direct light because it's gonna burn the seedlings because they are just still so small and so weak. So I still put it in like medium light, you know, and then in the box, so that way it will promote the wood grow more, because you do want the baby seedlings to you know, grow a stronger root system, so that way it can you know, it can grow bigger and stronger in the future. And one funny thing is this is just a regular Propagate woody eye, right? String of heart. But you can see, that's what I mean by genetics. So you can see, if you can see this one right here, like this square right here. I don't know why it came out albino. That guy is just white. And I was like, at the beginning I was like, is it dead? Like, oh, maybe it's dried up or it didn't grow right. But then it's growing, it's getting bigger by the day, but it's white. So yeah, that's what I mean by like, you know, when you grow a seed, I mean a plant from seed, it's very fun, it's very interesting because like they come out really different than, you know, the cutting is the same because it's the exact clone of the mother plants. But yeah, so that's it. So this is about like 3 to 4 weeks. So yeah, give it a couple. I would say like if everything goes accordingly, it's probably gonna germinate within 2 weeks, I would say, like a week or so to 2 weeks. And yeah, just make sure that you monitor it, and then keep the mix moist. So you don't want it to like soak, like I said, but you want to keep it moist. You don't want it to dry out, because when it's dry out, the seedling gonna, you know, dry out and die. So yep, that's it. Yeah, so what do you think? So this is the last part of my propagation series. So we went over, the first one we went over moss and water propagation, and then the second one we went over air layering, and then this one we went over like seed propagation. So if you haven't seen the previous video before, I'll just link it up somewhere so that way you can check it out, because it's very interesting. It's very fun to multiply your plants, and it's like a great feeling, you know, to see like the roots start to grow or like the seeds start to sprout. So I do this series just so that I can share this like joy, you know, this joy and excitement with you. And if you have any question, feel free to put it below so that way I can, you know, answer them. And yeah, so as always, if you like this video, make sure you click like. It's really helped me out to understand if, you know, these are the content that you want, so I can keep creating them and then to serve you better. And if you want more future video, make sure you click subscribe. It's a great way to support my channel, so that way I can keep making more informational video, and then we can share the joy of planting and growing. And I will see you next time. Bye. Alright, so everyone, today is 18 days after I planted seed, and I just want to show you guys how they are doing. So let's open this first one, and ta-da! And the seed are growing. And then we can open the second one, and this one is growing pretty well as well. And by the way, they're under a purple gold light, that's why it looks like this. And the last one, it's also growing pretty well. So I would say the germination rate is actually pretty good.